Okay, so it's about 7:15 and we're going to do a GameStop update. So, if you watch my recap yesterday, you'll see that I was down $10,000 on GameStop. The only person in the world that lost money on it yesterday, except of course short sellers. Uh, because in spite of the stock going up basically like this, I managed to buy tops on it and get stopped out not once but twice. I got stopped out right here buying the break of $44 a share and caught that red candle. And then I got stopped out after hours buying the break of 47 and got stopped out on that red candle. And both times I oversized for the range, lost 4 grand basically on each trade. Yeah, it was down 9,000. Nonetheless, I got chopped out only to watch it squeeze after hours. I first see it go up to 48, up to 52, and then pulls back, and then goes up to 54, and then pulls back, and then goes up to 58, and then 60, and to 65, and 68. So here I am crying into my soggy lettuce hands and feeling sorry for myself. I coulda, woulda, shoulda just had the cojones to hold the whole position and be up, 20 grand. But instead, I'm in the red. So I'm starting to think, all right, should I sit down at 4 a.m.? Right? That's what I'm starting to think. So I'm watching the after hours price at on my phone on Robinhood just to kind of see like where it's at. And I see the after hours prices are showing like $57, $58. So I'm like, nah, all right. I happen to roll over around 4:30 in bed, and I pulled up my phone, refreshed it, and saw it was at 65. So I was like, all right, it's not going up into the 70s, 80s. So whatever. So then I get up around 6 and I saw it had just started to dump here when I pulled up my phone. So I was like, oh, all right, well, it's pulling back. And when you look at it like this, you could see, it's pulling back. But now look at this. Holy smokes. It dropped all the way down to $38. So what happened? Well, we had news that just came out. The news that came out was that they report earnings earlier than expected. So they reported their Q1 earnings. And let's see if I can pull them up here. So the Q1 earnings were a miss. Let's see. Missing Wall Street estimates. This is a Seeking Alpha article, so it's kind of so let me see if I can get the actual so non-GAAP earnings per share of minus 12 cents misses by 3 cents. Revenue of 881 million misses by 113 million. So let's see. So net sales were 880 million for the first quarter compared to 1.2 billion for the prior year's first quarter. So definitely, net sales are down. Net loss was 32 million for the first quarter compared to a net loss of 50 million for the prior year's first quarter. So their net loss is trimmed a little bit. Cash and cash equivalents, etc., 1 billion at the close of the quarter. Okay, so they posted earnings, and they're a miss. Okay, so they missed on earnings, but they posted them early, several days early, which is confusing. Why are they posting earnings early? Right? Earnings were supposed to be, I think, on the 11th, so they're posting them a few days early. So that's weird. So they post earnings early, and then they have another announcement here, which is a shelf registration, which gives them the right to sell 75 million shares at the market. 75. If they sold 75 million shares at the market, they'd raise, well, at the current prices, billions of dollars. So now this is in their prior offering, they sold 45 million shares and they raised about $1 billion. And that's what gives them about $1 billion of cash right now. So they're sitting on a lot of cash. And now they have the right to sell another 75 million shares. So, and these open market sale agreements, they have to announce this to shareholders because it's important that shareholders are aware that there's a shelf out there. So essentially this morning, and we know that Roaring Kitty has a YouTube live scheduled for 12 p.m. today. So there's a lot of question about, everything that's going on. In fact, it was the YouTube live scheduling that got this so amped up. So, so now, you've got this big move into his Roaring Kitty's 12 p.m. live stream today, but the company sort of softening that with these two, pieces of news. So, yeah, with the shelf registration, it's very common. A lot of companies have shelf registrations, but this is a big registration, 75 million shares. The 75 million shares would dilute the current shares. Well, currently there's, let's see, how many shares do we have? It's actually down a little bit. They've got about 300 million shares. So this would increase the float by like 25%, a little bit more than that. So it's substantial. That's a lot of shares to sell onto the market. So now the problem is you can't help but feel like if you trade it, you're potentially buying shares the company is just selling right on the market. And that's always a little bit of a crappy feeling. It feels like this is where, I don't know, this is where the retail traders get sort of the rug pulled on them because, stock starts going up and then all of a sudden, hey, let's do an offering. Let's dump it. Stock starts moving up and then, hey, here comes some bad news. So I don't know, but on the other hand, maybe it's just going to trap some shorts, maybe. And then it really depends, I guess, on the news or the live stream at noontime, which I'll watch. I'll be tuning in for the things that I'm going to be looking for in that live stream, just to give you some context. So the things that I have said kind of right along on this is that I feel like we don't have I haven't yet heard like the thesis of why this is a buy right now, because I don't see it as being a deep value stock at its current prices, or even when it was pricing at like 20. I just didn't see it that way. Now, convince me that I'm wrong. I may very well be wrong. I obviously was wrong about how much it's gone up just in the last day or two. So, I convince me that I'm wrong. Help me understand why it's deep value right now. Help me understand why it seems like the short interest is only 20%, which doesn't seem like enough to create a big squeeze. Now, some people are saying, well, he bought 12 million shares worth of option calls, which is going to force potentially the hedge fund or whoever sold those calls to buy 12 million shares. Well, we don't know that they don't already own 12 million, right? I mean, they could have just written the call. I mean, we don't know. But at the same time, yesterday, given the fact that the volume on this yesterday was 200 million shares, I'm not sure that being forced to buy 12 million shares would really have I don't know. I mean, it would be 12 million shares of buying. It would move the market, but I don't think it would send the stock to like $200-300 a share by any means. Again, prove me wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's just the way I see it. And also, not to mention that for him to execute on those calls, he is going to need $240 million of cash to buy the stock. So I guess I just don't know. I mean, obviously he's got, I just don't know exactly how it works. So he's up a lot on them, but I'm a little bit confused by it. So my kind of theme with what I want to see on the live stream is give me a thesis, tell me the reason why it's a good buy, and paint the picture. Give me the story. And then I can have something I can sort of be buying into. Right now, I'm just not clear. And so I've been trying to trade the price action, but obviously, I got I lost on that yesterday. Now I'm still green on the week on GameStop. I really shouldn't complain too much. It is a choppier stock. We've got bigger spreads. By the way, I haven't taken any trades yet on it today. It's down 10% right now. So I don't know if I'm gonna take any trades on GameStop today. I think it'll really depend on the live stream. So, I'll be watching during the live stream. I'll be streaming here at Warrior during that live stream, so you guys will know what I'm doing. But we can listen together. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of to be determined. Now, I also, as always, during these periods, will look at other stocks that have sympathy momentum because there's a lot of emotion in the market, right? There's some FOMO in the market, so traders are kind of, they're looking for stocks to trade. People are going to sit down and feel some FOMO that, oh, GameStop, made this huge move. I didn't do well on it. So what's something else? So if we see something else that starts moving, then, I'll pay attention to that. Currently this morning, Vero is our leading gapper, up 107%. This made that big move after hours, pulled back at 4 a.m. So that one's out of play for right now. GERN, G-E-R-N, GERN, whatever. 575 million share float. That's a little outside my strategy. LFly. This one I took a trade on yesterday. I lost on. It was a little choppy. Popped up at 4 a.m., dropped down. I'll keep that on a side chart. VS. This was another one that moved after hours. It's pulling back. BCDA. This one is, kind of recent reverse split, some news, maybe, but, we'll see. So right now it's still a little early. So just kind of giving you guys a, a little breakdown, a little update on GameStop especially. And yeah, at this point, given the fact that the company now can sell up to 75 million shares, we just don't know when we were looking at the level 2 if that's the company dumping shares, right? So that's just the risk that we face right now. So got to manage risk. And I guess the thing on GameStop is that buying dips is a lot better than buying breakouts. And that, well, I did buy breakouts on Monday, and I'm green on the week buying breakouts in total. Green on Monday, but red yesterday. Buying dips would still probably be better. Okay, so, that's it for the GameStop breakdown. And it's coming up to 7:30, so I'm going to watch news at the bottom of the hour. We'll watch news at the top of the hour, 7:38, 8:39, and then we'll go into trading. Hopefully we'll have a good day, and then watch this live stream at noontime. So that's the game plan for today.